Now, please welcome Linda Liu, the Director of Data Analytics and Data Science at Hyrecar. Linda has extensive experience in helping businesses build analytics and data science foundations and is a big advocate for cultivating a data centric culture that enables data teams across the business to best utilize data and analysis. In today's session, Linda's going to share her tweaks for tuning and adding enhancements to maximize big data automation pipeline engine performance. Over to you, Linda.
Thank you for coming to my presentation, Supercharging Big Data Automation Pipeline Engine. Needless to say, automation plays a key role in tackling big data initiatives. Automation pipelines are must-haves in the pursuit of big data success. Thus, the engine that creates these pipelines deserves special attention. In this talk, my focus will be on tuning and adding enhancement to that engine to maximize performance. Before I start, let me introduce myself. My name is Linda, and I lead the data analytics and data science team at Hyrecar. I have had a lot of experience helping a business build analytics and data science foundations, as well as roadmaps that empower data-driven decisions and improve user experience across the organization. I am a big believer in cultivating a data-centric culture that enables teams across a business to better utilize data and analysis and bring added value to the day-to-day work. What do I mean by increasing capitalization to drive business? During my talk, I will go over the nominal approach that is currently widely used in creating big data automation pipelines to meet today's challenges, what I refer to as the engine. I will relate to you some of the potential shortfalls this engine can encounter and how at Hyrecar we supercharge the engine to increase capitalization. In this context, capitalization is a measure of product utilization by end users as well as the associated value. Let us embark. Regardless of the size, industry, or market, big data has become an intrinsic part of a company's road to success. Often, how a company's big data initiatives turn out can be a telling story on its fortunes and outlook. In this vein, let us break the story down and start with the premise 2022 data and analytics trend. When looking forward, it is prudent to look to the past and setting to make sure we are grounded. We are all no longer strangers to pipelines bridging the divide between the raw and the curated. Automation pipelines are now prevalent to help business deal with big data. Yet, there is no guarantee that pipeline products will be utilized by business and provide value to end users. Thus, the engine that creates these pipelines needs to be diagnosed. How do we go beyond the traditional automation pipelines to increase capitalization in driving business growth and success? What can we do to supercharge that engine to increase data product utilization and add value to end users? We'll look at the concrete benefits we were able to realize and examples of real-life projects. With any story, perspective is what colors the interpretation and understanding. Recently, I came across this particular graphic and it struck a chord with me. I will be the first to say this is not a full and complete portrayal of what a data scientist actually do. However, what job does not have some level of groundwork? In this particular example, the actual details do not really matter. What is illuminating are the varied perspectives that are vividly rendered. It is important to keep perspectives in mind as we work our way through the story. Let us get started. Big data means different things to different people. But I think we can all agree that the nature of big data is categorized by extreme data volume, high data variety, and rapid data velocity. All of that presents challenges to business. Even before we consider targeting what Gartner identifies as the three imperatives driving the top trends in data and analytics for 2022. Activate dynamism and diversity, augment people and decisions, and institutionalize trust. These imperatives paint a picture where data and analytics are tightly intertwined. There is an emphasis on always sharing data, business composed data and analytics, and decision centric data and analytics. Big data initiatives needs to be aligned with these in mind. Top trends in data and analytics technology and practices can help anticipate change and transform uncertainty into opportunity. Data and analytics leaders must factor these trends into key investments that drives new growth, efficiency, resilience, and innovation. To effect that change, we want to increase capitalization, a measure of product utilization by end users, as well as the associated value. To express capitalization more clearly, first, it needs to accelerate change in data and analytics. Second, operationalize business value by making data and analytics an integral part of business. Third, embrace distributed everything, empowering an ever wider audience of people and objects. Over the past 10 years, there has been unprecedented growth in both data volume and analytics technologies and tools. Back in 2012, this summarizes what was available in the big data ecosystem from Metric.com. This may be an ancient history, but it serves a good reference point to see where we were. 4 years later, we see the whole ecosystem has grown. Though this is just anecdotal evidence, it illustrates a dynamic and a growing field. As an aside, we can almost use these for virtual acuity test. Of course, I think you can guess what is upcoming next. Here we go, you guessed it. This is what the space looked like in 2021. Year over year, the big data landscape keeps getting hotter and hotter. Making sense of big data can be a messy endeavor, with extreme data volume, high data variety, and rapid data velocity making things difficult to corral. Who will be the hero? The stage is now set, and it is time for the main character to step in and show how some order can be created out of the chaos. It should not be surprising to see the big data automation pipeline step right in here. To harness all of this chaotic potential, big data automation pipelines are needed for the operation to be scalable and to generate reliable insights. A data pipeline is a collection of steps necessary to transform data from one system into something useful in another. The steps may include data ingestion, transformation, processing, publication, and movement. Automating data pipelines can be as straightforward as streamlining moving data from point A to point B, or as complex as aggregating data from multiple sources, transforming it, and storing it in multiple destinations. Automation pipelines reduce complications caused by data under construction and data drift. Each business has its own take on how to do big data automation pipelines, and we are not looking to delve into the details of any specific implementation. Instead, we'll focus on the engine that creates the big data automation pipelines. The full data pipeline for big data traditionally passes through several stages. This image illustrates the stages that the data must flow through before it is automatically refined and delivered to business. Data collection, data ingestion, storage and maintenance, analysis, and delivery. This engine's pipeline produces end products ready for consumption. But were there any considerations made on behalf of the end users? Nominally, big data automation pipelines are under the purview of the data engineering team with input from data analysts or data scientists. There is little interaction with end users or business stakeholders, leading to a potential disconnect between the pipeline end products and those who the products were intended for. If the products were not made available in a timely manner or simply not used by business stakeholders, all of that expended effort and investment would be in vain. What can lead to this disconnect? There are a couple of main factors that contribute to that disconnect. Why does context matter? Without the proper context, instead of clearly seeing the elephant, one might lose the necessary details and just see a blob somewhat shaped like an elephant. Big data inquiry needs to be combined with strong business knowledge to help discerning different contexts easily. In all likelihood, the data engineer has little insights beyond just the raw data. Without help, there's no way to understand where the data came from, how the data is captured. Losing sight of the big data picture is always a risk. People are focused on the task at hand and don't always have the space or ability to step back. On the big data initiatives, with so many moving parts, it can be like this gallery picture. People only see a part of the elephant at one time. Because the data engineer may not fully understand the business and dealing with a diverse set of data sources, it can be difficult to make sense of the overall data. One more picture to go, just in case elephant metaphor is getting a bit jaded. Here we have a dog instead. Without business stakeholders being involved from the get-go and being able to access all the data products they want, we cannot guarantee the big data automation pipeline and products are what the business really want. If they don't feel engaged, they are also less likely to make use of these data products. Building big data automation pipelines are a big investment to the company. How can we get the most out of that effort? In order for the business to see ROI, the pipeline and products have to be utilized. Thus, business utilization is a definite indicator to count on. Beyond that being utilized, actionable insights to drive business decisions and to grow the business are what bring value to the end users. This defines what I mean by capitalization, product utilization by end users, as well as associated value. How do we tune our big data automation pipeline engine to increase capitalization? First, we need to remember teamwork. To build a better data automation pipeline, everyone needs to play a part, including the business stakeholders. Next, let us take a look at Hyrecar data ecosystem to see how we set up the environment where our supercharged engine can run free. This graphic shows the high-level data flow, from data generation via business systems, backend and frontend, to intermediary data where data is stored and streamed, to commodity data where data is curated step by step and prepped for analysis use, and eventually flow into other systems to help inform business decision making. Automation pipelines are set up to collect data from both internal systems as well as third-party integrations across both app and web in real time. Depending on the type of the data, storage is automatically selected. Access is centralized via Dremio, which provides a nearly full self-service data platform that can create virtual datasets from multiple sources and then serve them as a read-only database. In turn, Databricks provide the lakehouse architecture, which combines elements of data lakes and data warehouses in a single cloud-based repository, so we can have one source of data rather than pushing that data out into data lakes or multiple data warehouses that can lead to silos with different views. An automated suite of analysis models is applied as part of the analytics foundation, enabling self-service analytics. The end products feed into Tableau, the interface for business users and some external clients on demand. It is both a reporting tool and a data visualization tool that transforms data into easily digestible visuals so both technical and non-technical users can understand. The goal is to remove friction points, to allow data analysts or data scientists to be more self-sufficient, and to encourage business stakeholders to play with the data. As a result, business leaders and analysts now can obtain the intelligence they need to accurately and confidently measure and advance performance. Access to all data points drives insights and innovation. Unbound by any technical limitations, analytic teams can ask intricate questions, dive deeper into their data, and problem solve at faster rates. The intentional move towards customer-facing analytics allows key stakeholders and teams across an organization to engage in the process in a more meaningful and relevant way that drives the business forward. This supercharged big data automation pipeline engine should look very familiar. The component we added is on the lower left. To increase capitalization, we need to get business stakeholders into the loop, incorporate business stakeholders' perspectives and desires right from the start to make sure the correct information is targeted, acquired, and ingested. Directly involve business stakeholders to verify end products are what they are looking for and tune them for maximum value. Finally, we reach the climax of the story. What are the concrete benefits we derive from supercharging big data automation pipeline engine? First and foremost, we ensure alignment of big data automation pipelines to business objectives. Data silos are reduced, eliminating bottlenecks that delay action and waste resources. Streamlining access to company and customer insights speeds up the decision-making process. It increases the agility to respond to shifting business needs and customer preferences, and enables users to delve into insights on a more granular level. By equipping employees with the tools necessary to extract the value from data, businesses can build a whole data-driven culture from ground up. Almost all organizations struggle to extract the full value they need from their data and gain critical insights that drive organizational efficiency and improved performance probability. Empowered business stakeholders can manage data pipelines, linking and integrating them with cloud-based databases and business applications, and providing the insights necessary to accomplish their goals. At Hyrecar, here are some real-life projects using the Supercharge the big data automation pipeline. Customer lifecycle analysis is a data-driven approach to identify the key touchpoints where customers interact with the company's product and service offerings. As a marketplace business, we are connecting drivers and owners. Utilizing this engine, we unified data via mobile and web, mapped out all touch points and each milestone, created a comprehensive view that laid out the entire customer journey of the connected drivers and owners. We connected the dots between customer interactions with the company. We are able to optimize the customer nurture flow, provide timely assistance, and create a good customer experience. Risk management is a very important but often unheralded component of the business success. We are able to take into consideration different types of risks, such as fraudulent transactions, claims, incidentals, malicious customers, etc., and created a unified view. Without this engine, it would have been difficult to assess risk probability, risk impact, and the associated costs to the business. We built a portfolio of risk behavior and quantified the impact. As we know, pricing is dependent on a variety of factors. The key to pricing optimization is data. Dynamic pricing is actively setting the pricing based on the current state of market demand. Our engine gave us ability to optimize the price. We combine the demand-based pricing strategy that measures the change on the basis of demand with cost-based pricing that tracks the cost of doing business while keeping revenue in place with factors such as seasonality, elasticity, location, and so on in real time. Thank you. I hope everyone enjoyed the talk. I chose to frame this talk as different components of a story because everyone has his or her own story to tell. Even if we were to share the same premise, our different perspectives and the respective business will spin the stories we tell in countless directions. I would be so pleased if my experience can help spur you on to make your own stories. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions and comments. Thanks again for your participation.